Blaze Buddies! What's up, everyone? Well, as promised, after the great response from the last video, I'm going to continue it on with a video series called The Stupid Shit Kids Do. And I'm going to tie, in honor of my father, God rest his soul, I'm going to tie it into him because all the stupid shit I did as a kid involved my father, that poor guy. So this is probably in the top 3 of stupid shit us kids did as kids. Now, it was like a end of the summer day. All the kids in the neighborhood had decided, let's have a party on the other side of town, not our neighborhood. It was in a construction site. We were drinking. It was probably about 5 or 6 of us, just throwing down the beers, telling stories, having a good time. You know, that's a typical thing for kids, right? But at some point, we had to head back to the neighborhood. And when we got to the neighborhood, someone came up with the bright idea, let's climb the water tower. And, you know, we'll party up there. Now, in the town that I grew up in, Methuen, Mass., on Forest Street in Methuen, they had built a huge water tower. I watched them build that when I was like 4 years old. And then, you know, it was a huge monstrosity of a tower. It was about 100 feet high. I think it was around like 80 feet in circumference up top. And it had been there, you know, and then at the time, in the neighborhood where I grew up in, there wasn't a lot of houses. There was a farm down the street. We used to hang out, you know, sneak in the farm. The farmer would chase us out with his pitchfork all the time. It was a cool little, you know, my street, Forest Street in Methuen, was one of the nicest streets. It was just not a lot of houses, just us stupid kids doing stupid shit. So they built this water tower. And they ended up coming in at some point and putting in houses. And with those houses, there was a road going down and around the neighborhood where they slowly but surely they started putting houses up. That was actually called Observatory Road. We called it as kids the New Roads. So you got the new roads, you got the big tower. Fast forward, us stupid kids in the neighborhood, probably about 5, there's about 5 of us, and a whole ton of beers, and we're just idiots. We climbed this tower. It's nighttime now. You gotta hop a fence. You gotta get up to where the ladder is, and this is an uncaged ladder that goes up 100 feet. And then when you get to the top, it's all opened up. And there's like a ventilation vent in the middle. But it's not flat. It's like rounded. It's pretty dangerous. Now, I at one point, you know, years before, like an idiot, I used to skip school and climb that water tower in the middle of the day. And I'd go like to Market Basket. Back then it was called Demoulas. I'd buy a bag of Doritos and a 6-pack of Mountain Dew. I'd climb that thing and I'd be up there just hanging out all by myself. I was a loner as a kid. I was the first one in the neighborhood to climb that water tower. Now, here we are, the stupid shit story. We all decide to climb up this tower and have a party. Unbeknownst No, at the time, they didn't have motion sensors yet. All right? So we're at the top. They're playing football like fucking idiots. You could, 100 feet high. You could, there was no like fences on the top where it was like rounded and you could literally fall to your death. And we're drinking beers, fucking laughing. They're playing football. I mean, it was a good time at the time. But down below on the new roads, I'm going to leave out the names of all the kids in this story, the people in this story, out of respect for their privacy. But down below on the new roads, you could see down below. And one of the kids up top on the tower with us, his girlfriend was down below on the new roads. And a car pulled up. And you could see the girl talking to the person in the car. Well, my friend up top with us was somewhat of a jealous person. And he saw his girlfriend talking to someone down below. So he comes up with the bright idea of taking a big Budweiser 16 full bottle of beer and hucking it 100 feet from above. And it hits the trunk of the car and explodes. Because he was pissed at his girlfriend. Well, that car happened to be a detective car. The detective was checking out the area because there was kids hanging out in the area. Now, within 15 to 20 minutes, we have all of Methuen Fire Department with big beacon lights at nighttime flashing up on the tower. And there's cops now pulling up, 2 or 3 cruisers with megaphones going, "You on the tower, come down now." So one of the kids we were with says, "Just keep quiet. They'll go away. Just keep quiet." Well, no, that's not what happens. We didn't come down, so they came up after us. Now, two or possibly 3 Methuen police officers climbed the ladder, hopped the fence, climbed the ladder to come get us at the top because we didn't want to come down. So they get up there. Now I'm up there hiding behind the ventilation vents. There was nowhere else to hide up there. It was just the vents. So they brought those kids down, the other 4 kids. And then I was up there still thinking I was going to get away with it. And I don't know if he was, I don't know his rank, but one of the firemen, I know his name. I'm gonna say it as Mr. Broadhurst. He was a high up in the fire department, I think. He went up there specifically to get me. And here I was hiding, trying to get away with it. He's like, "Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. Come on." I'm like, "Fuck." And I'm like, "Sir, I'm going in now this is 3 weeks before I was going in Marine Corps basic training. I was a fucking idiot for doing that. And I'm begging with the guy, "Please, sir, please, I'm going to Marine Corps boot camp in 3 weeks. This is going to really hurt me. They might not let me in. Please, is there anything you can do? Please let me go." So we get all the way to the bottom. I jump down. I ended up losing my wallet, which had my driver's license, my social security card. I think I had a couple bucks in that wallet, whatever. And at the bottom, Mr. Broadhurst is, pleading with the police officer, this young man, he made a mistake, but he's going to Marine Corps boot camp in 3 weeks. Can you just cut him some slack? And the cops were like, "Nope, they're all going in." So They threw us in the cruiser. They brought us down to Methuen Police Department. Now, and they put us in the holding cells. Each of us were in a different holding cell. And I'm like, fuck, what the fuck? So I'm in there. I'm doing push-ups in the cell. I'm like trying to keep my fucking head straight. I'm fucking practically running laps in the cell, and the other guys are just hanging out. One of them was like yelling out, "Jitty, I wait for you with a 2x4. And I was like, fuck. Now, this is where it's a little confusing. I think they let us go on bail because we were scheduled for Lawrence District Court, I think the next day. And we all ended up going together in one of our friend's car. And I remember this because when we came out of court, they threw it out of court. They were like, this is a waste of time. You guys just get the hell out of here. Don't do it again. So when we left, the kid's car was wedged in. He couldn't back up. So all 5 of us picked up the car and moved it sideways so we could get out of there. Now, this is the funny part also. In the Lawrence Eagle Tribune newspaper, I was always obsessed with reading the crime logs, the weddings, and the deaths. I was obsessed with that. It's all tied together, I guess. I don't know. I cut out the section. It was in the paper. You know, teenagers are brought in for trespassing on Water Tower and Forest Street. I cut it out of the newspaper so my father wouldn't see it. And because I didn't want him to know. I didn't want him to be pissed off. So I got away with that somehow. But like a day or 2 later, I think I remember my sister saying, Dad got another newspaper from the store. And he saw the crime log. I'm like, fuck! I'm like, first of all, he's pissed at me because I didn't tell him I was going in the military for a whole year. And now now he sees that I got brought in to Methuen Police Department, and then we had to go to district court. And I had to come clean on it. So that was another incident, stupid shit that we did as kids. It involved my dad, and again, despite the fact that my father was just beside himself, confused as to how stupid we were, he still never yelled at me. He still never, he never he didn't show any negativity at all. Another thing, he had full reign. He could have gone off on me, but he didn't. So that's the infamous tower story. I have a lot of stories. And it all involves Dad, because we all did some stupid shit. So I hope you enjoyed that one. And everyone who was involved in that, you all know who you are. And it's funny. It's really funny to talk about to this day. All right? I'll see you guys all soon. Have a great weekend.